And then I'll go ahead and open this website with the uniques so that I can reference it more easily if needed. Okay. So I'm hoping to reach level 42.
Can I help you?
To reach level 42 before trying to go defeat Bale and move on to Nightmare. Right, I only keep flawless gems now.
At your service.
Alright, we'll try that and see if anybody says anything. Someone commented on yesterday's stream that it seemed quiet. I did not yet ask if they were talking about my voice or the gameplay, and I listened back, and the gameplay was much quieter than my voice. So we'll see if that fixes their concern. See, how far in are we? 5 minutes? 4 minutes? And it wasn't a random, it was somebody who regularly watches my videos. If it was just some random person, I would ignore it.
Good afternoon.
Can I help you?
I think in Classic this sells for 25,000.
What do you need? Afternoon.
Omnral Thul, King's Grace. It's LS, but that has Drain Life. So Omnral Thul. The only potentially interesting thing. Let's see if I even have those runes. I think I don't have yeah. I have Ral and Thul.
Can I help you? At your service. Afternoon. At your service. Afternoon.
How may I be of help? Good afternoon.
Hello, Toby. So they can't drop it. It's unfortunate. But they, I just got one with one socket.
Hello.
So they could drop if it can get 2 sockets, which I guess I don't know. They could drop a 2-socket one that I could make steel. Yeah. And they also can drop up to Shamshire. So, you know, there could be like either one of these two could drop, or these 3 really could drop with like enhanced damage and attack speed. Something like that. Oops. Also, I don't know if it's the case with the Frigid Highlands in 1.08 specifically, but I do know that area levels are different in the older versions. Because it shows here quality level 30 just for Gladius at all. So I don't know what quality level and area levels, I don't know how those relate to each other. Oh, alright, well there you go. I will believe that guide 100%. I didn't look at it. I was just like, oh, Gladius, cool, maybe I'll get the unique one. But I guess not. And that's fine. I can still get upgrades. And I can still get levels. I guess I could run Pindleskin instead. He might be able to drop it.
Can I help you?
But he's more dangerous. He hits harder. Here I don't have to worry about anything. I can just mindlessly go and never drink a potion. Okay. Does it have every level there? I didn't know that. Like if they're listing every level of every zone for 1.08, that would be really good information for me to have. I guess not like it would be good, but I can live without it kind of thing. Because the only ones that I really need is what's it called? The area level 90s, and there's people that I can ask about that I'm in Discord with. Because the area level 91s are where or area level or quality level, whatever it is where Stormspire can drop. Like Pit of Acheron, Nilithax, Temple, whatever all those areas are called, Halls of Bot and all that. I think like Glacial Trail, Drifter Cavern probably, but there's a list that I can look up on the, actually there's just people that I can ask that I know. Oh, okay. Yeah. I haven't looked through those in a long time. I should probably go back and reread all of that. Or get a text-to-speech generator and have it read it to me while I play. Is the game really loud? Because I turned the game up a little. Someone commented on yesterday's video that it was quiet. Not that the game was quiet. They just said, hey, turn up your volume 50%. So I listened a little bit and I noticed that my voice is definitely louder than the game. And at least in yesterday's stream. So I turned the game up a little and left my voice alone. Okay.
Afternoon.
Yeah, because I had the game quieter on purpose because I want to make sure that my voice can be heard over the game noises. But I know some people like to hear the game sounds, and so I don't want it to just be like super quiet. And after my internet went out yesterday, briefly, I played for another like hour and a half or something. Got, let's see, yesterday I got Saigon's hat, Catherine's armor, and another Eisenhardt's sword. Yeah. Which, if nobody's here, is most of the time. Like, if nobody's chatting, and I'm streaming, you know, the video's longer than like 10 minutes, then you're about to get like a half hour of no talking. So. So I'll comment to that guy, hey, I tried to turn up the volume, let me know how it is, and see what he thinks. Especially because a lot of what streaming is used for, not just mine, but streaming in general, is background noise. So if it's too quiet, then it's not serving its purpose. And if you have to turn the volume up super loud, then if you get an ad, then the ad is like really, really loud and annoying. So.
Good afternoon.
3 blizzards. All resists 15. I've decided, at least for now, with this guy, I'm gonna collect perfect gems, so flawless, and then cubing them, and roll the prismatic amulet recipes with it. That might be true. That sounds like a thing that would happen. I recall having read that sometime in the ancient past. There's a lot of stuff that, you know, I read once and then it's like, oh, well, I don't play 1.08, so I don't need to know that kind of stuff.
Can I help you?
Yeah, mostly I just know about 1.07. Because that's where I spent the vast majority of my time as a time traveler is in 1.07. And even then, there's going to be a lot of stuff that I don't know, because most of what I do is not actually player versus monster, it's like player versus object. Touch the box. did do versus monsters was almost exclusively High Council.
Salutations.
Afternoon.
If you don't necessarily like go out of your way looking for it, but if you happen to see or notice where it says about the cruel affix either maxing out at 200 or 300 for rares, I think that's what it is. Because I know in 1.07, where am I looking? Prefixes. You can't get the good cruel prefix on weapons. Yeah, 200 to 300 on rares. So I don't know if 1.08 rares can get that, or if it's magic only. Or if it even exists at all. The affix might not even exist yet. I'm pretty sure it does exist in 1.09. I just don't know about 1.08. And whether it exists or not will affect a lot what I pick up once I'm doing infinite magic find runs. Yeah, I should go through, not necessarily today, but like go through and make a list of notes, like bullet points, little factoids, and compile them all into a list. Not necessarily like, here's a 1.08 guide, here's a 1.07 guide, but more like, here's a 1.08 quick lookup basics kind of thing. Alright.
Good afternoon.
Probably need to refill my drink soon anyway. need a green, a yellow, a purple. I think that might be it. Yeah. To roll the prismatic amulet.
Hello.
At your service.
Right, I'm doing battle orders. Okay.
Can I help you?
It's 10 Vex. Wow. It's pretty expensive. Monster flea. Ew. Okay. Yeah, that's no good. And then where was like Tur L or something. I think. Steel. Oh, that's open wounds. What does crushing blow? It's clubs, hammers, maces. Maybe nothing. No crushing blow, but I could probably use honor, I guess. If I had a 5-socket weapon. And an honor rune. I don't even know. I don't think I can get 5-socket weapons yet.
Afternoon. Can I help you?
Good afternoon.
Afternoon. Can I help you? Afternoon.
No, not really. No, I didn't find anything and I didn't level up. So. I did decide, just right now, to stop repairing my weapon and just let them be broken. Since nothing here takes away my mana, then as long as I only use Frenzy, they won't actually break. But if something did hit me with mana burn, and I had 0 mana, and tried to use Frenzy, then the weapons would break.
I can't carry anymore.
No, it's fine. I just, I guess because my guy in 1.07, he gets hit with mana burn a lot, I just got in the habit of always repairing my weapons. But here, until I get to somewhere that mana burn is common, that's not really necessary.
How may I be of help?
Technically, these are tri-res boots. But they're really low. 9, 11, 26 with no run walk. I don't know what version they fixed this, where the weapons break correctly, or even if they have, maybe they haven't, I don't know. But if I use like regular attack, then the broken weapons break.
What do you need?
And then I have to repair them. So if you knew that the monsters you were going to fight never have mana burn, then you could use ethereal weapons. But if you're going to be running in hell, then they will eventually have mana burn. Unless you're doing like summoner or something. Well, I guess a boss. Yeah, I guess if you were doing some sort of boss run, like Mephisto runs, then you could probably use a ethereal weapon and not worry about it breaking.
Good afternoon.
3 socket body armors. Is there anything? Nope, can't afford that. Limco Tur. Alright, nothing. Yeah. Yeah, he's gonna be Frenzy, simply because it's easy to control, not necessarily because it's better. So it'll just be Frenzy, Mastery, Battle Orders, Find Item. then probably, you know, when there's points left over at the end, probably just like more points in increased speed and more points in natural resist is usually what I go for. In these old patches, at least. He'll be running and clearing large zones in Hell at Flares 1. I know the other people that were looking for Stormspire used Whirlwind. I just find that this is easier, or I guess lower effort. Because you don't have to worry about aim at all. The mana cost is really low. So even if you get hit by mana burn, you'll probably still be able to use it again. Especially if you have any damage to mana at all. Yeah, Whirlwind is probably better. Even for that, like for what I plan to do. But Frenzy is just so low effort. Like right now I'm just holding right click. Like it doesn't matter where, I just hold right click down. I don't have to aim anything. And then I get 6 seconds of really good run walk. And the monster hit points on Players 1 is not very high. So like the difference between whirling and frenzying, you're still gonna kill most monsters probably in just 1 or 2 hits. Once you have a good weapon. Or so I have been told. Because one of the guys that was doing this, he told me like a lot of times if he forgot to switch to his main actual attack weapons, instead of running around with just 2 wizard spikes attacking, he didn't even notice. Because stuff just died anyway. Oh, okay. Keep that in mind. Yeah, 1.10. The monsters got huge life buffs. Like 5 to 10 times.
Afternoon.
you can see, like, I'm doing 118 to 142 damage, and a lot of these monsters die in one hit. You know, granted it's on players 1, but that means they only have like 130 life or less in Act 5 normal. Which seems like not a lot to me. I should level up on this run, probably. Put 1 point into battle orders. I heard that ring.
Salutations.
So yeah, when they released 1.10, it was almost as if it was an expansion just by itself. See, they added, I think that's when they added Diablo Clone. I'm not sure. So if so, then they added an Uber boss, and then they added all the synergies, a whole bunch of uniques and rune words.
Good afternoon.
I don't know why I picked that up. And maybe they added Uber Tristram. I just don't know which version that got added in because I never did it, so I didn't really pay attention to when it was.
Salutations.
Okay, I need a green and a yellow. And then I can make a prismatic amulet. Which I wasn't really planning on doing because it's so expensive, but I think for this guy I'll go ahead and do it. And then when I make the guy that runs High Council, he'll just save his gems and either use them for the ring recipes or crafting materials or forwarding rather than the prismatic amulet. It was that same recipe. I wasn't trying to get SOJ. You have to be level like 63 or 64 to get SOJ out of that recipe. That is, I have a whole bunch of gems in my stashes from 1.07. Like, you know how I do the one where I get the mana after each kill ring when I get 1,000 sapphires? Well, I collect all the other colors of gems too. And those will be used in 1.08 to make to try to make an SOJ. Not because I want to use it, I don't really care about using it, but to have it. Like, wow, look at this cool item. One interesting thing about it is that recipe was live on Realm and could have produced an SOJ with single resists on it, but I never heard of it ever happening on Realm. It's 1 in 120. That's not right. It should take 120 doesn't sound right. Not that might be 1.07 numbers. Let me find the chart. I have to log on to Discord and go to my server and click here. Once it loads. Okay. Let's see if I can find it. Copy link. Paste and go. Okay. Exit Discord, unblind. So here, SOJ 1.08, 25,000. So 24,800 at level 60 to 80. 1 in 120,000 is 1.07. So 1 in 1,000 rings will spawn as unique on average, and then of those you take 24.8 unique rings per SOJ. I do not have 24,000 attempts at the recipe. I do have a lot of attempts, but not 24,000. Ravenfrost and Dwarf Star, are either of those any good? Probably not. Where's rings? Dwarf Star, magic damage reduced, 70 gold find, 40 life. And then Ravenfrost cannot be frozen, cold resists. Yeah, not super interesting. And then yeah, the prismatic recipe, every 4,000 attempts will get you Talrasha's amulet, which is 25,000 perfect gems about. It might be, sometimes there's really old information. The chart that I have will be more recent. Yeah. Yeah, it's 1 in 120 if it already rolled unique. It's 1 in 1,000 to roll unique. Because the rest, it's only supposed to roll magic, like blue, but they never put that flag on it that it's only supposed to roll blue, and so it uses the same odds as a rack for set rare and uniques spawning.
At your service.
From the cube recipe. And racks in 1.07 have 1 in 1,000, for unique racks in 1.08 have 1 in 800. To roll a unique. So I don't know if the unique spawn 1 in 800 out of that recipe, if that changed as well. If I had to guess, I would guess that it did, but that's just a guess.
Hello.
But either way, this chart shows how many attempts per result on average. So probably the only interesting options are going to be the Dwarf Star and the SOJ. And then let's see, potentially like Saracens, Crescent Moon, or Atmos Scarab maybe. But Talrasha's is an interesting result, but I have been told that it does not get the partial set bonus. I haven't had one, and I haven't seen screenshots of it equipped. But I was told that it doesn't get the partial set bonus. But even so, you could get some really interesting magic and rare results with that recipe. Especially at high level. Well, actually, I don't know. I guess you probably can't get +2 class skills. Since it's not rolling at the character level.
Afternoon.
But stuff that could be useful for equipping low-level characters.
Salutations.
LS. Okay, that's the one I was gonna try and see if I like it. Apparently it doesn't work. Okay. Then I don't know what rune words are available in 1.08. Because apparently it's not this. Did it say that? Let's check here. Rune words. I probably should have checked here in the first place. Oh. That's definitely different. Okay. Yeah. That's definitely different. Because already black requires Poe rune. I don't think... Yeah. King's Grace is the same. Looks really similar. Hell Foul, Lord Saul, Malice. Shay Konef. I think that might be the same. I don't even know what that is. Silence. Looks really similar. Says Tal Eth 2-socket body armors. Let's see if it says anything up here. Diablo 2 version 1.08 and are only active on the realms. You're right. Okay. There you go. Interesting.
At your service.
That's crazy. Alright. Hello, Thrasher. I think you were the... Yeah. Yeah, that's what I just read on that old website. That they don't work. I turned up the game volume. I think you're the one who commented that the sound was low. I didn't change my voice. So hopefully the game volume is better for you now. Well, at least it was relatively cheap runes that I used.
How may I be of help?
So then probably the only rune that I really need to keep hold of is Tal. Maybe a couple others for, like this one for attack speed or whatever. Tal is for crafting the caster amulets, sorry. Alright.
Afternoon.
I won't do it. I don't know. This seems like the kind of thing that certainly that forum would consider cheating. And also, most of the rune words aren't going to be terribly useful. I just wanted the run walk on that. The 25 run walk on the armor slot. They do have something similar on that forum, RuneWord mod for 1.10 plus, to enable the ladder only rune words in single player. So it would be similar ethics as using that, which I do use. Yeah, well, I learned a thing today. Yeah, with at level 88 though, you'll still be able to get amulets that don't have +2 class skills available, won't you? Or am I wrong? I might be wrong. I got to 92 for the amulets because I thought that's what was needed to guarantee that it's high enough level for +2 to be able to spawn. Did you level on Erdars or some other way? I know doing like sand maggot babies is a popular method of leveling for some people. I just couldn't ever get them to reliably keep laying eggs forever. I don't remember for sure. I think it was like from level 80 to 92 took me. This is a very vague memory. I feel like it took about 20 hours of killing Erdars to get from level 87-ish to level 92. 2 sets no spawn. Yeah, I had every single map. I had a shrine available, and then they always spawned no matter what. It was right next to the River of Flame. Well, not right next. It was really close to the River of Flame waypoint. It was the first mobs next to the River of Flame waypoint, and spawned 100% of the time, either champion or unique. So they never, like, didn't spawn. So it was a really good map for it. Yes. Am I going to re-roll my map enough times to make that happen? No. I think you would spend more time trying to find that map than you would getting level 87 to level 92. And just because I think it can doesn't mean it actually can. Because, like, in theory, 2 adjacent mobs could each be the unique mob. But I don't actually know if that's true in game code. And also, I don't know, even if the game code allows it, is that combination of monsters possible? Or are there only, like, fixed sets of monster combinations and spawn locations like they have item drops from soup chests kind of thing? Yeah, you can dream, that's right. If you are good at coding, which, you know, I am not, I don't code at all, you could write a script to simulate spawning the map and check for, you know, did it spawn the 2 Erdars next to each other? And then spawn like 10 million maps. I'm pretty sure that's how there was a guy, I don't remember, it might have been Pavkey or it might have been like Art Vandelay or something, who, or maybe North Dakota, who did that for glacial trail maps to find the map seed with the sparkly chest right next to the waypoint, I think is what it was. Or maybe it was to find the map with no waypoint. I think it might have been to find the map with no waypoint. One or the other. And also, I think someone might have done it to see how many River of Flame maps exist that have 3 super chests in the adjacent tile to the waypoint, and the answer was like 2. Or something like that.
At your service.
And the other, I guess I'll say, issue, like, slash problem, with having 2 mobs spawning like that is, you're still going to be limited to a certain set of duped items. Like, you can't just run them for items. You could run them for gold. But if you're running them for gold, then I think it would be better. Like, if you go here, then you can get like a unique mob or champion that spawns there, and then jump down and get one that spawns like right here. And that's a lot easier. I still don't know if it's worth it. I prefer Cocoon Touch. But if you had enough gold find gear, it might be faster than Cocoon Touch. I know the user like Helvete or Helvete, however he says his name, he prefers gold find, but I found it to be too inconsistent. But that was just, you know, different people like different things. I liked the kind of hypnotic repetition of touching the cocoon over and over and always getting 25,000 gold no matter what. But you can get like 119. Well, actually, chance cards might have more. 59, 59, 119, 119. I'm not sure if helmets get 119 or not. And then gold skin. And then just like a nice weapon. I got a shield. What shield do I have? Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was lucky though, because usually the shields, you're not going to get it at 25k. That was my 1.06 guy. Because the shield is low defense. What would have been a lot easier to reach 25k would have been the Great Helms. Also, since you're doing in 1.0, you don't have to worry about dupes deleting from Rust Storm. So you don't have to sell every single run. You can collect a full inventory before selling. So if you got, like, ideal would probably be some sort of rare belt that sells for 25k, because then you could have 20 of it. Whereas a hat, you would have 10. And then the shield I could only hold, well, in 1.06 I could only hold 2, and in 1.0 I would have been able to hold 5. I did at one point have a boot in 1.05 that sold, or 1.00, sorry, that sold for 25k. But that was in Upper Crust before I realized that I could do better with cocoons than I could with the corpse. And in particular, like if we go look at the corpse, Upper Crust and Lower Crust are basically the same. Like you leap and get this corpse. It's a lot more difficult to make sure the same item spawns each time versus the cocoon, it's really easy because you don't have to worry about leaping correctly. You just click right on it. So the amount of time you take is always going to be the same.
Afternoon.
But when I first started doing it, I was doing Lower Kurast and Upper Kurast. And that's where I did my 300 hours to gamble boots and belts. Yeah, the cocoon is like really, really consistent.
Can I help you?
But it's a lot harder to get a winged helm to sell for 25k versus what's the one? Grand Crown that spawns in Lower Kurast. Is a lot easier to get to 25,000. You can do that with just like superior Grand Crowns. But it's less consistent because it's harder to make sure you take the exact amount of time to touch the corpse. And then even with, you know, I guess I'll just say it takes a lot of rare amulets to actually get something good. So you'll be, you know, gold finding for a long time. So this weapon, it only breaks if I use standard attack. See? And now my damage is just punching damage. So the problem with using ethereal will be once you're regularly running into monsters that have mana burn. Then your frenzy will automatically just do a regular attack.
Afternoon.
And break your weapon. Works for Whirlwind, yeah. As long as you do a... at least I think it works for Whirlwind. But if you ever do a standard attack by accident, then the weapon breaks forever. If it's ethereal. But yeah, I think it works for Whirlwind. But I'm not certain. But I won't be using an ethereal weapon for this because of mana burn. If mana burn didn't exist, then I would use it. And just run around with broken weapons forever. Yeah, but even with damage to mana, you can still end up using a standard attack after mana burn. Especially at Whirlwind, which is so expensive. I don't know. If it does, that's news to me. All I'm aware that damage taken goes to mana does is like it's basically mana leech off of the damage that you receive. That's how I understand it. If it reduces the actual damage that they do to you, that's news to me. I guess we can... Let's go see if I can find this on Amazon Basin. Which isn't always accurate, especially for... No, not interested in that. Da-da-da. No. Wrong. Damage goes to mana. Okay. Control F, damage. Amazing damage. Apparently I can't type. Taken goes to mana. What's this? Alright. Returns mana to a player character equivalent to a percentage of final attack damage applied. If no damage is applied, no mana is returned. It does not divert damage from life to mana or reduce damage to life in any way. Now this information is typically going to be 1.10 plus, so it might be different than how it used to work. But in general, I tend to trust Amazon Basin. Yeah, it doesn't work. You cannot use damage to mana and energy shield together to become invincible. It doesn't work. Saul. Oh yeah, but runes are useless to me. Well, damage reduction isn't useless, I guess. I don't have any of the equipment yet to do the ritual stacking. one thing that will be a key piece of the gear is going to be High Lord's Wrath. Not High Lord's Wrath, Rising Sun. So that when I go up to the Plains of Despair, I can find a piece of fire on the ground and stand in it. I don't see any pieces of fire. But I'll also need a bunch of damage reduction that does not do attacker takes damage. And it will need to be indestructible. Or maybe self-repair is good enough. So I'll probably have to shop some stuff. Because I did try in Classic. Let's see if I can see one. I don't see it. I guess I don't have it on that map. So like here, if you look at the mini map, and I don't know if you can actually see that. Suppose that my barbarian was able to get to that little square of land and that it's real and I can stand on it. And that this gap, the monsters cannot cross. There are places like that in City of the Damned, not City of the Damned, in Plains of Despair. There is a little spot like that with a moat that you can get across. And that the monsters can't cross the moat. But if you're across the invisible gap like that, I tried it, and the glomes would not go do the ritual. They just stood there like idiots and looked at me. Do I even have leap? I don't. So I can't just like stand on the other side of a uncrossable gap and expect them to do the ritual for me. So I will have to get damage reduction stuff and let them hit on me. And I don't know what all that will end up being. Not for this guy in particular. In general, yes. For this guy, my hope slash goal, not really hope, my goal is he's going to be self-found only. So no items from 1.07 for him. But the guy that I'll have doing high council runs in 1.08, yeah, definitely he'll be using stuff that I have from 1.07. Because the intent will be that while this guy is getting stacking up rituals, his window will be minimized and he'll be in a multiplayer game so that it continues playing while minimized. And then I'll have another window that's a guy playing in single player doing high console runs. Because you can only have one version of the game open at a time, at least with the mods that I'm using, Trend Shadow. And I don't want to just like not be able to play for 2 hours while the rituals stack up. So I'll be doing high council runs while waiting.
Can I help you?
Can I help you? That also ensures that all parts of the gameplay are either live streamed or uploaded. Video captured in some sort. Sapphire. One thing I do need to find out, either by reading about it or trying it myself, is if in 1.07 I know Whirlwind triggers on attack, so like amplify damage on attack. I don't know if that still works in 1.08. If it does, then I'll use... does a broken shield work? No. A broken shield no longer applies its bonuses. So any shield that I use for damage reduction will have to either be self-repair or of the ages. And it's probably best to have of the ages. But in theory, I could shop a Jeweler's Monarch of self-repair and put 4 soul runes in it for a 28 damage reduction. Let me see what Storm Shield does. It might just be better to use Storm Shield. Unless it has attacker take damage. Let's see. It doesn't even... Oh, damage reduced 35%. And no attacker takes damage. So that could work. And it's indestructible. Because 35% damage reduction is, you know, it's a lot. Shaco or Vamp Gaze. Vamp Gaze does, I think, 25% integer damage reduction. And then like 25 magic damage reduction. The total percent reduction, I think, will be capped at 50. And then everything after that has to be integer. Damage reduced 25%, magic damage reduced 15. Oh, but it's not indestructible. That's right. And Shaco would be. Yeah, you're right, Shaco. Indestructible, increase max life 40%. No damage reduction, though. I don't even think I have 1.07 Shaco. I would have to find one. Because I never took the time to find one since my Travancore Barbarian wasn't going to use it. But if and when I do rush a bunch of guys through 1.0, there will be at least one set of sorceresses rushed through so I can get some decent runners. And then I'd probably also need to do more High Council runs so I can fill their inventories with Fast-Gun Walk Charms. Yeah. Yeah, I can. I just haven't. And it only takes like 3 or maybe 5. I think it's only like 3 rituals to make trash mobs drop unique and objects to drop uniques in 1.07. Yeah, I knew it wasn't a lot. Like, it's enough. It was low enough that I can just like stand around and do it on my own. experience really slowed down, so I think once I reach level 42, I'll go ahead and try to see if I can kill Bale.
Afternoon.
Or let me try Pendleskin. Last time I did Pendleskin, he actually was hurting me, and so that's why I haven't been doing Pendleskin. Okay. One 11085. Yeah, it's that crushing blow they have that gets me. So 30,000. Yeah, now I'm at 40. Okay. See what I end up with. 4. Okay. Oops. So 18, yeah, half as much to kill both of these guys as I get from killing Pendleskin once. But that crushing blow actually hurts me, so I'll stick with these guys.
What do you need?
Gladiator's Bane, but isn't the 1.09 one, it's no longer like the 1.08 one? I think so. I haven't really messed with 1.09 much. Probably what I would look for there is the belt that turns into Sigurd's stealth. I don't think there's anything else in 1.09 for me to look for. Yeah, he's higher level, yeah. Yeah, everything is higher in these old versions. Or not everything, but lots of things. Like in 1.07, I know the council members in Hell are level 90, and the unique ones are 90... It's either 93 or 94. I think they're 94. Because they drop Bale Grand Charms, but they don't drop Bale Small Charms. So I guess it's level 93. Because the unique ones can give the 45 life Grand Charm, but the minions do not. And if I play 1.09, it would probably either be a Nova Sorceress or a multi-shot Zon with Bariza. Probably. Or a 1.08 wind force. Are you doing player 64? Players 9.
Afternoon.
but I think there were no real interesting super chest patterns that I found. So that would probably be like the main draw for me. It would be to get high runes, and there weren't really any good rune patterns.
I can't.
Is that a super chest or a sparkly chest?
At your service.
Let's find this program. Where are you? .09 Super Chest, Act 5. Players 3. Chom. Players 37. It's not really an option here. Because 37 and 21 should give the same results. If we go sparkly. No. There's one Zod on the sparkly chest at players 3 with a 20% chance that it's in the sparkly chest pattern. This is really small. You're probably going to have better odds just running cows. Because these sparkly chests have like over 2 million patterns, I think. Maybe not. Even if it's just 65,000 per option, it's still 1 in 5 of the 65,000. So it would be 300,000 sparkly chest runs at the... Are they the same? Yeah, in Act 5. Which is a lot.
Salutations.
Might have been like player 17. Like I've seen Zod available in sparkly chests. I don't recall seeing it available in super chests. And the odds on it are so low that you're pretty much going to be better off just killing monsters. Even though monsters also have vanishingly small chance of dropping Zod. Probably your best way to get a Zod pre 1.10 would be what's it called? 1.07 clears on players 8. You got 2 ohms recently or like back in the day? And will you be using them to make, or have you already used them to make beta call to arms? Or will you use them in 1.09? Bramble? Yeah, route sewer eth. Very expensive.
I can't carry anymore.
What do you have in mind? Like what would you even want?
I am overburdened.
Good afternoon.
I think most people just put it in like a 3 holy shield sector. I think the ones people looked for were like Holy Shield, Redemption, Conviction, and Meditation. Yeah, I guess I could see charge being one.
I can't carry anymore.
Can I help you?
Wouldn't you have to use a socket quest then? Which I guess is fine, but... I hadn't thought of that. It's probably actually the easiest way to go ahead and get them. The other option being racking. But you can see a lot more sectors shopping than you can by racking, so I guess that makes sense. I just never thought of it.
Afternoon.
Hello, JCL. You don't need to make spirit for that. I mean, you can, I guess, but... typically, people just use a fire sorceress. I intend to run Duriel in 1.10a, since I need a lot of facets. Like a lot of facets.
Can I help you?
I figure if I run Duriel in 1.10a, then I can get facets and get the beta Volcatho. But this is working on the guy who will hopefully find Stormspire. He needs probably 40 more levels, and then every gear slot before that happens. So if you have him quest bugged. If you don't have him quest bugged, then it's better to run High Council with High Magic Fund. At least I think that's what I remember finding out. So I'll have to... I want to try a sorceress, a barbarian, and a paladin. But probably, since it's 1.10a and runes are rare, it would be without Enigma. So the barbarian and the paladin will have to have really good maps. And then something with teleport charges to do one teleport in the Talrash's tomb. And the barbarian would be whirlwind, and the paladin would be vengeance.
Hello.
Not bad, all things considered. JCL, I don't know if you saw Fabian found Stormspire on a live stream. So there is now a confirmed live stream drop of Stormspire existing. I don't want to be using amplify damage because then I'll have to use a charge every single run. The idea with Conviction is it gets really high damage, or with Vengeance, really high damage, and the Conviction gets rid of his resistances. Yeah, Stormspire in 1.08 is different because it's a Archon Staff instead of a Giant Thresher. Or whatever it is. I don't even know what it is. But I know here it's an Archon Staff. And it is the most rare, unique in any patch that can spawn.
Afternoon.
With stacked rituals forcing all mobs to drop uniques no matter what, it is still more rare than Tyrael's Might in modern versions. There's a guy who did over 300 runs. 300 clears. Like that. I know him. One of the guys who did about 100, he did find it. used to do, I used to play Mario with that guy. So I know him too. But yeah, I was thinking for the Duriel runs, I would use possibly Act 5 mercenaries with, what's it called? Crescent Moon? Is that the one? With static field on attack. Yeah, I know of the Kaizo ones. I don't really watch them anymore. But I used to watch some of it. Many years ago. Actually helped, what's his name? Dodecahedron figure out a strat for one of his Kaizo 3 runs. Like a cheese to get through one of the levels without actually solving the puzzle. Because I was watching him play, I was like, hey, why don't you just do this? And he was like, oh, well yeah, let me try it, and then it worked. Yeah. I think he kind of just got tired of it.
What do you need?
And he also got, like, I don't know how much it affected him, but he got canceled with, like, a twit longer. Yeah. But by the time that happened, I was already like not really paying attention to Mario stuff anymore too much. So I wasn't even aware about it until several years later. And now I pretty much only watch one guy play Mario, Super Mario World, and that's Brams. And I don't watch him very often. But if I do watch Mario, it's probably him. And occasionally, I'll watch Truman. But only if they're playing vanilla. I don't watch the hacks anymore.
Good afternoon.
Hmm. Yeah. It was pretty neat. But I would rather, if I was going to use something like that, I would rather have an orb. I think I have a 6 fireball orb, which also has 5 fire mastery, but it does not have casting speed. Still pretty cool. Yeah, for the, what's it called? For the barbarian that does Duriel, I would either use a mercenary with Crescent Moon, or a mercenary that has like amplified damage on attack
I am overburdened.
weapon.
Afternoon.
I'm curious just what it does. Am I even wearing another piece? Oh, I have the hat. Okay. I don't care about the slow. At least I don't think I'll care about the slow. Amplified damage would be much more valuable. I mean, I don't know, I'll have to see, but... Because he has 50% damage resist. It's either 50 or 30. I think it's 50. but I'll just have to see how long it takes to kill him anyway. It might not even matter. Like if it's only 2 or 3 whirls, which I have no idea what it will be, then it probably won't really matter. And I'll need some sort of really hard-hitting weapon. Or I guess 2 really hard-hitting weapons, probably. And I have a whole bunch of gems that I could try rolling, like Colossus blades with, potentially, to get the, I don't know if it's limited at 5 or 6 sockets in 1.10a. But I could theoretically get a cruel Colossus blade of quickness with too many sockets. So I'll probably try that. But I might just go like Immortal King's Maul, even though it's only 1 weapon and not 2 weapons. Good crushing blow, demon enhanced damage, really high minimum damage. And then 2 sockets so that I could put like shale or something. I don't know. And then probably just like, you know, Shaco, Skulder for the magic find. Laying of Hands. Probably. High Lord's Wrath, probably. Not sure about the rings. I'll need Mana Leech from somewhere, possibly Navina's Belt. And then the rings could probably be Magic Find. Nagel Ring, I guess. Does Cannot Be Frozen work against his Holy Freeze aura? I thought the Holy Freeze chills you anyway. And the attack speed of Whirlwind is not affected by slow. So actually moving slower when you're near him just means you attack more. Probably, I guess, some either like War Travelers or some sort of other magic find boot. But I don't know, I'll just have to see when I get there, try some stuff out, see if it works. I won't be surprised. Yeah, 1.10a. I won't be surprised if what I find is that I should just use a Fireball Sorceress. There should be facets, yeah. Ladder only uniques do drop in 1.10a, I think. Ladder only rune words were not enabled yet, so even with rune word mod, they aren't there. I think. Yeah, no ladder rune words in 1.10a, but ladder uniques should be available. Oh, I won't be doing Andariel. Andariel can't drop facets. Duriel can drop both facets and bulk athos. And I need a lot of facets. Like a lot. Because I need 7 plus 5 cold facets.
I am overboard.
Hello.
which if quest bugging works and I have about 350 magic find, should take about 18,500 Duriel runs. Today I'm gonna try to reach level 42 and then end stream, so I don't know how much longer that'll be. But the experience is not really coming very quickly, so I won't try to get 43 here. A Saigon's glove would be nice, but the highest I ever found was 38. I think. Maybe I found a 40? Or maybe it was only 37? I don't know. I found one like that, but I can't remember what it actually was, how much. I think I had one from the cubing recipes, which was like 33 magic find and fire resist. I think I had something like that. I have currently I think I have like a 48 amulet and a 48 circlet that I haven't tried to roll sockets in yet. Coronet, actually. 48 coronet. And I don't know if I ever will try to roll sockets in it, honestly. Probably someday, but I wouldn't use it even if it got 2. It would just look neat. I have a classic amulet that has like 40 something. 41 maybe? I don't know. But it doesn't really do anything else.
At your service.
I mean, it does other stuff, but nothing noteworthy. Probably the best thing I ever had when I played online was a small poison damage charm, which had like, I don't remember the exact number, but it was like 263 poison damage or something like that in 1.09. And I was offered 40 SOJ for it. And I was like, nah, man, this is mine. Which I used on my sorceress. Yep. The other high value item that I have had at one point that I didn't really know I had was Jeweler's Monarch of the Colossus. And I didn't know that it was valuable because I only know Jeweler's Monarch of Deflecting was valuable. So I sold it to Akara. Yeah, so many people don't know what's good for low-level dueling, and I am one of those people. That they'll just be like, oh, this item has a level requirement of 30 or less. Is it good for low-level dueling? It's like, no. You're asking if an actual piece of garbage is good for low-level dueling. The answer is no. Yeah, even high-level dueling stuff doesn't get picked up, though. I did not do any dueling ever. That's not dueling though, that's PK, which is kind of different. "16 max damage Grand Charms? I don't think that even exists in modern versions." Grand Charms with that much damage would be like 1.7 only. And then they can go a lot higher.
What do you need?
What level are you saying these are for? We get 10 from the prefix. And 4 from the suffix at level, well, I don't know if this is, I guess that's item level, not requirement level. So 14 would be the most maximum damage on a charm now. Yeah, but then you can say good luck getting that about any dueling item, really. Especially the charms and the jewels. Like, good luck getting a 320/20. Good luck getting a 40/15. And so on.
Can I help you?
Oh, it caps at 40. And again, good luck getting that. Even getting something higher than 30 is extremely rare. Yeah, you can get 20 maximum damage on the prefix and 20 maximum damage on the suffix. Yeah, I think I have a war cry and then like a fire skiller and a cold skiller or something like that. Something stupid. Maybe a curse is one with max damage. And you can get 20 to all resists on the Grand Charm. And you can get 12 maximum damage on the small charm, but my best is 11. And same with the large charm, I can get 24. My best is a 23. And if all you care about is the maximum damage Grand Charm, it's better to run in Nightmare instead of Hell. Because they can still get 40 maximum damage from the High Council, but a lot of the other affixes aren't available. High Council will drop more charms in the same amount of time than lower cross. I used to do lower cross runs, and then I tried council runs a little bit, and the amount of stuff you get for the amount of time is way higher. Yeah, with item find, yeah. I'm about to level up, and when I do, that'll be it for today. I'm not gonna try to do Veil today. I'll save that for next time I play. Well, next time I play 1.08, which probably is tomorrow, but I might do something else instead.
afternoon.
Alright, rune words don't work, so I'm not keeping runes. Alright, that's the level up. Battle orders. I'll go ahead and repair my stuff, even though I don't really need to.
At your service.
And that'll be it for today. So thank you for watching and chatting. And I will probably play tomorrow in a similar time slot. As far as I know, nothing. I don't know. There's probably a way to turn it in and like redeem it somehow, but I don't know for what.